and welcome to the Trading Bell. I'm here at Deloitte East Africa to speak to the CEO, Anne Muraya. And guess what? She's right here with me. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Mina.
How are you?
And a warm welcome to Deloitte, please.
Thank you so much. I'm waiting to see how we can have this conversation. And
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. There you have it. The Trading Bell is ready with Anne Muraya. Anne, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here, and I am very happy because one thing is that the Trading Bell has dedicated some sessions for women in leadership, and that you're one of them right here doing a massive job in East Africa. And I wanted you to paint the picture for us when you talk about Deloitte East Africa. What is the span like? Is it all the countries that I think of, or how is the span like? Please go ahead.
Thanks, Mina, and thanks for coming to Deloitte, please.
Thank you for having me.
I take care of 6 countries, which is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Zambia, and Malawi.
That's quite massive. 6 countries, that's a lot. And I can imagine what's in your plate. But a lot of people, just like me, when I was a little younger and I would use this route, I would see Deloitte. At least I've had the privilege to understand what you do. But maybe our viewers as well, most of them are just like me when I didn't know. I would like you to probably just take us through Deloitte. What are they known for? What are your services?
Deloitte is a professional services firm.
Yeah.
And I might add the #1 professional services firm in the world.
That. Yes.
So we have audit, tax, and consulting services. Audit, I guess, is pretty obvious. We provide opinions on the financial statements of the companies we audit.
Mm-hmm.
Tax, we advise people on their tax matters, in all facets of tax, whether it's when you're acquiring a company, while you're still running it, new things you're doing, how to deal with the current taxes. You need to have the whole broad spectrum of tax. And then we do consulting services now. That's a lot of interesting stuff we do there. That's technology transformations. That is company mergers and acquisitions. That is risk services, strategy. A lot of technology transformation, actually, and technology transformation is very, very wide. Project management, it's a very, very wide array. It can take a whole day for me to take you through all the stuff.
I can tell. But I think the most prominent one, as you have said, when I listen to banks, for example, when they're releasing their results, in AGMs as well, most of the companies you will hear that the results have been certified through this particular, because they've gone through an audit. So it's known to do that a lot. And thank you so much for giving us more of what else you do. Let me go straight into asking you, because there's a lot of changes that we have seen, as you have said, and we've seen a lot of sectors and industries changing over. And I wanted to ask you, what are you seeing in terms of sectors, in terms of showing most demand for your services? What are you seeing? Is there a new advent, or still the traditional ways?
So it's hard to say that there's a particular sector doing that, because it depends on what's going on. You see, if I am a large potato farm and I'm trying to get larger, maybe I want to acquire another one. So that's agriculture, but it's more of the merger and the acquisition, the due diligence around that. Banks and financial statements and financial services generally, you find, have a lot of technology, a lot of changes in regulation, a lot of changes in accounting standards. So on the audit side, you'll be looking at that, but on the consulting side, you'll be trying to help them with their transformation, with their digitization, with the risks they take in from a cyber risk perspective, control assurance. There's a lot of things we do that we do with the banks and financial services. Telcos are also an equally interesting and complicated companies, and that lends itself correct, and that lends itself to a lot of support from firms such as ours. You'll also find then consumer business, again, evolving in the way they digitize and how they serve their customers and all that sort of thing. And then all these organizations have people, so there's human capital work that we do. So it's hard to say there's one particular industry you're talking to, because all the industries that are evolving and changing will need our services.
And I know you are privy to all this, and I'm sure this is part of the conversations you have in your boardrooms. We are in a changing world. I mean, every day we are seeing new things happening. It's the advent of AI, blockchains, data analytics, a lot of things that are happening. And I wanted to ask you from your perspective, especially you offering especially these particular kind of services that are related to this and also get affected by this a lot. How are you, as Deloitte, supporting businesses in East Africa to adopt to this digital transformation amidst all these emerging technologies?
So I guess first we start with ourselves and make sure that we're part of it. Make sure that our teams understand these technologies very well. We work very closely with the hyperscalers, AWS, Google, SAP, and that kind of people. And we work with them then to go to all these institutions we work with. The beauty of working in a global firm is then you can bring the best expert to your client. And that's what we do. So we do a lot of, in the first instance, board and senior management training on these things so that they have a sense for AI, what it can do for them. We show them use cases in their industries so that then they can understand. We have several innovation centers across the world. So some of the time it's to make them see that so they can see what AI and all of that. We have a really good data analytics team that also then helps people get better insights out of their data. And some of them even outsource it to us, so we can stand up a data center for someone so that we're helping you do that. You also find, especially if you've been around a long time, you've got a lot of junk. So we also help you clean up your data because you need to keep improving your data to get better information. So a lot of it is understanding what the client problem is and then working with them to get to where it is they're trying to get to, and also looking from a future perspective where you need to get ready now for what's coming, which is, for example, the data cleanup. You need to do that because then if you're getting into new standards, you need to report differently. You can't get there with the junk that you carried away from many years back.
And things keep changing, and you're right. So you have to always just be changing with them as well.
Absolutely. I keep telling people that whenever there's a change, what you need to do is get used to it really quickly because there's another one coming.
Just top of mind, are you sometimes concerned that you sit at a seat where you may be forced to make very tough decisions where, for example, a workforce may be lessened because these technologies are there, and there's lots of things that can be done as well through the help of the technologies that are popping up. And how do you handle that?
So you see, that's where our breadth of services comes through. Because, for example, as you implement new technologies, you have to look at the workforce. And are they correctly positioned with the current workforce that they have? Can people be retrained to do different things? Do you need completely different people? Because maybe you don't need a whole lot of clerks, but you need a whole lot more software engineers. So I think it's that different jobs are changing rather than complete job loss. But there's also the opportunity to get people to do things differently. There's that thing people say that AI will help you do your job better rather than completely replace you in the near term. We don't know what's going to happen because so much happens real quick. So some of it is also to make things more efficient, to make the work better quality. But at the same time, you're looking at how do you then reorganize your organization for the changes you're making in the technology.
That's true.
And that's why then you'll have the human capital team working with the technology guys.
Yeah.
And that whole breadth makes it a holistic service that we're then giving to our clients.
Okay. I don't know why this subject has become of interest, but just to close on that, and it's because of the purview that you have. You sit at a place where you're seeing all these countries. I'm sure you're able to see a few of these things. Looking at how our education system is and the kind of graduates that are being brought to you, and as you've said, you also empower them, probably even retrain sometimes and do all that. How prepared are we, in your own perspective, looking at, and I want to give an example. I think the US the other day just signed in that, their kids need to be taught AI, and many advanced economies as well are doing that. We are still somewhere. So I don't know what your sentiments on that.
So I'm not yet worried.
Okay.
I tell you why.
Okay.
When we recruit, especially the new graduates, we take any degree.
Okay.
Because our view is we're going to train you. University makes you trainable.
Lovely. I like that perspective. Yeah.
Many organizations are doing that. If you speak to the people at the Microsoft ADC and all these other people who are recruiting people, there's that. They're actually training people a lot. A lot of what you learn is on the job, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah. So I'm not worried yet.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, these are digital natives, the ones coming up.
So
they found technology there.
Yeah.
So it's not the same struggle I would have to learn.
Okay.
So I'm not quite so worried yet. I think what we need to do is give more people connectivity and the ability to broaden their world, because then there's nothing you can't learn.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to a conversation that got veered off by the education side of this, but great nuggets there. And there's a whole factor that you play, especially when it comes to matters public sector and policy engagement. And I'm saying that because on the trading where we have hosted quite a number of guys from your end, especially on policies, budgets and the likes. But I just wanted to ask you, what role do you see Deloitte playing in supporting governments? Because I have heard you talk about training here and there, in the region on public finance, governance and policy advisory work, in a nutshell.